Welcome back to Wooded Lake Adventures. Today we are in New Jersey. We're going to do a little project. We have a pump we picked up from Harbor Freight so we can pull some water out of the pond to use it, whether we're washing the skid steer off or if we want to fill up an IBC tote, bring it up to our campsite or building. We have it up there just so we have some water. We can put a hose on the end of that outlet from the tank on the IBC tote if we want to rinse things off, whatever. Obviously it's not potable water, but it's good enough for rinsing off equipment we're using or tools we're using, or even rinsing off our feet or anything else if we're walking in the mud, whatever. So let me show you what we got going on here. Okay, so here you can see our pump. It's a 1-inch inlet outlet pump, gas powered, made by Predator, sold from Harbor Freight, a little 79cc engine on it. It actually pumps pretty well. Pumps about 35 gallons a minute, so it'll fill one of those 300-gallon totes, well under 10 minutes, whatever. But I'll put enough water for cleaning off the skid steer or doing anything like that. But by the time we have the pump, a couple little tools with it for tightening connections, have the inlet hoses, outlet hoses, everything. It's a lot of equipment to move around. So we figured, we have the skid steer with the pallet forks, so why not mount the pump right on a pallet? And then we'll build some sides to the pallet so that we can have the hoses, wrapped up on the sides there. And if we're building sides, we can just use a portion of one of the IBC tote plastic tanks as a little roof, have like, 6-inch overhang, whatever, on the to secure it up there. But that way, if we're for some reason using it in the rain, we have a way to keep the pump somewhat drier and a little more protected from the weather. But let's get started. Okay, so I've got a second pallet here, which I'm going to pretty much take apart to use the wood from this second pallet for the sides that will hold the roof, as we'll call it, over the pump, as well as give us something to put the hoses on to keep them a little neater and under control. So we're just going to use a pry bar, start popping the boards off. So we have a pile of pieces from the surface of the pallet here, and a pile of pieces that were the larger underneath supports. They're probably closer to 2x4 dimensions. My plan is to have these standing upright, maybe go up about a foot above the pump or so. And then I may use some of the pieces from over here to go along the edges here, give us a little more support on those. We'll see. Definitely those will be cross members. So probably just get a little plan mocked up here and start cutting some pieces, putting it together, and see how it goes. Now we've got a rough plan drawn out with some uprights, little cross beams going across it. I've got some angle supports here, which I'm going to use some leftover pieces I had that actually were sides of a cable spool. I cut them up. I was using a portion of them, but I have some pieces that actually look, they're right angle with that curve, so I'll use those to support the corners here a little better. Our upright here, I'm going to cut it to length. We'll cut them all to size. Okay, here's our finished product. I've left the top brace off on the side facing the camera here so that we have one side exposed where we can have the pull cord accessible. Actually, let me flip the pump around here so I see. Okay, so this way when you go to start it, you've got space here to pull without having any, blockage if there was a piece across here. We also have one hose will come out this side here, which is the outlet hose. The inlet will go out the little side here, no big deal. For operation, I think we'll probably take the roof off to get the pump started. That way there's nothing in the way. We'll see. We may decide to, permanently leave it on, in which case I can always add an extra cross piece coming across on the top here to give it support. But you can see if I try and shake this, it's pretty solid there. It's not really going anywhere. So for not supporting any weight on top, I think it'll do just fine. And what I'm probably going to do is decide on some form of piece on the side here. I may put a piece of wood across here, maybe a piece of PVC pipe. I actually have some old spools I may even put on there or something just to hold our hoses. Maybe even just, a hook that we can roll the hoses up on, keep them out of the way. So we'll see. I'm not 100% decide what we're going to do there, but we'll have something that each side we can have some hoses hanging on it. I'll probably put one of those plastic Harbor Freight ammo boxes mounted somewhere on the side inside the pallet here with just some tools we need for it. There's a couple of wrenches that come with the pump, maybe even extra hose clamp or whatever, just so we have everything we need handy. We can even leave a can of oil there or whatever, just so everything's ready for us. We could even make a little holder if we're going to use the pump for a while, that we could have the pump set to one side and have somewhere for a gas can on the other side, because it obviously doesn't hold that much gas. I haven't seen how long it actually runs for, but I think that'll probably do this project. So as always, thank you for watching. Please give our video a like. Please share it with your friends. Please subscribe to our channel so you know when we post new videos, and leave us a comment. Thank you.